What's up everybody? Welcome back to the DDM Tuning YouTube channel. My name is Ronald and today we're going to be comparing headlights. More specifically, we're going to be comparing our DDM Pro 50 watt against GTR Lighting's Ultra 2. Let's get started. The reason we're comparing these two lights is because GTR Lighting's Ultra 2 and our Pro 50 watt share the exact same LED chip from the same manufacturer, but just in a different housing. Of course, no claim is valid without some testing, so let's start with build quality. Both of these headlights use an all-aluminum construction in both the LED housing and the driver. They're both IP67 certified, meaning they're submergible under 1 meter of water for about 30 minutes. It's not something you do occasionally, but it does mean they're splash-proof and dust-proof. The design, the chip, and all of the electrical components are exactly the same, the only difference being the housing. Although these headlights are almost exactly the same, our Saber Pro 50 watt has a slightly shorter and more compact LED housing and a slimmer, more rounded LED driver. Whereas the GTR Ultra 2 has a slightly taller and chunkier LED housing and a larger squared LED driver. In terms of build quality and design, both of these headlights are exactly the same. But how do they perform in real-world testing? I went to the DDM tuning facility in Vista, California to pick up a testing sample and to test these headlights beam pattern and lux. Let's head to that now. So here I am at the DDM tuning facility in Vista, California. This is where you're going to get all of your orders processed and shipped, as well as a physical store where you can come in and buy any of our DDM products. Since we don't have access to an industry level tester at the moment, I've set up a temporary testing unit in a spare room here at DDM, and this is where we're going to be testing our beam pattern and lux. So in front of me I have both headlights, an H7 projector, and we're going to test and see how similar these headlights really are. Alright guys, so as you can see, I have my beam pattern wall right behind me, as well as a lux meter right in the center there. First up is going to be the Saber Pro 50 watt, and I'm going to turn off the lights and see how it goes. Alright guys, so there you have it. We have the Saber Pro 50 watt here on display right now. Let's check the number real quick on the lux. 2,570, really nice lux. And let's get started with beam pattern. So first thing we're going to talk about is the center beam focus. So for the center focus, it is very bright and controlled and has a very visible hotspot in the center for when you're driving at night. Alright, so next thing I want to talk about is the beamed width. As you guys can see, it does spread from wall to wall. Unfortunately, we don't have that big of a wall, but you can still see that the width is very nice. It's very bright and very well controlled, and it has even lighting from wall to wall. And the last thing I want to talk about is the cutoff line. As you guys can see, the cutoff line is very sharp and very accurate. It follows my little tape line that I set up here almost perfectly. It stops exactly where it should, and it does not have any bleeding or any excessive lighting outside of the headlight housing, which is fantastic. I also want to note that all of our lights are tested and that we make sure each individual product works exactly how it should before it's all shipped out. So you can expect this kind of performance throughout our entire DDM lineup. So let's check out the GTR Ultra 2 and see how it performs. Alright, so we just got done with the Saber Pro 50 watt. Next up we have the GTR Lighting Ultra 2. As you guys can see behind me, I have the same beam pattern, the same lux meter. Everything's exactly the same in the same position. So it's going to be a really fair test. Like I said, the GTR Ultra 2 is using the exact same chip as our Saber Pro 50 watt, so it should perform exactly the same. So I'm going to turn off the lights and we're going to see how it looks. Alright everybody, so as you guys can see, this is going to be the light coming from the GTR Lighting Ultra 2. Like I said before, it is the exact same chip, and as you guys see, it's performing exactly the same. So let's get started talking about the lux. So the Lux is reading slightly lower, but it's basically the same. Ours was reading at 2,500. This one's reading at 2,440. So only 100 lumens less, not too big of a deal. It's still the exact same chip, but just in a different housing. And let's get started with the center focus. So once again, we have our center focus beam right here. It's very hot, very visible, perfect for when you're driving at night. There's nothing different here. Next thing we're gonna talk about is the beam width. Also, nothing different here. Very bright from wall to wall, very even lighting. And the cutoff line is also exactly the same. Even with the blue hue, you can see that blue hue travels all the way from left to right. And it follows my little tape line perfectly. So, like I said before, the GTR Ultra 2 is the exact same light, same chip, just a different housing. All right, and now that we've got this testing done, let's head back to the studio. So there you guys have it. As you can see, both of these headlights perform exactly the same. And as I said before, these are using the exact same LED chip from the same manufacturer. However, there is one really big difference between these two headlights, and its price point. The GTR Lighting Ultra 2 comes in at $250, whereas our Saber Pro 50 watt comes in at only $110, which is 20% sale right now. That's literally way less than half of this GTR Ultra 2 with the exact same performance. Here at DDM, we want to provide you guys with the highest quality products at the most competitive pricing. We never want to overcharge you or undersell you on a product that we know is not going to perform at its best. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to check out our Saber Pro 50 watt and other products just like it, make sure to visit us in store or online at ddmtuning.com. And if you guys want to see more videos just like this one, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.